Hello everyone, I'm here today with a new process video, and as you can see I'm working in a 6x12 album here because I have this full pager on the right hand side, and this is for my husband's trip that he took to the Smoky Mountains. That's what I'm working on, and this side's gonna be really easy because he just wants me to take this little passport brochure thing and include it without a page protector. I've just been storing it in this one. But what I'm planning to do is just take one of the citrus twist little strips that they have, attach it, and just cut off the extra. And that way it can just flip on its own. So really don't have to do a whole lot there other than put some adhesive on it, which is awesome. But this side, a little more of a challenge. I do have to be careful with what I do because there's another layout on the other side that's already done. So I can't put staples through certain parts because it would show. I just have to think before I do things so it doesn't damage what's already done on the other side. And originally I thought I would use different paper, but when I saw how well this green matches with the foliage there, I thought to myself, well, I feel like I kind of have to use it. And it will help with this because this is such a brown tone. And yes, it matches what's up here, but I want something to lighten up the background. With that being said, I also have this. I went into Pinterest in all the stuff that I have pinned, and I was trying to find a layout where I would have a larger photo and then a small one. That's not a combination I normally do on a 6x12 page. And I came across this one that I had pinned. And I don't need to do everything here, but I do like this, the larger photo. May or may not mat it. I like that this one is slightly off kilter off the side, and I think I would do it this way, because this is more dead space than what's over here. This is kind of visually interesting. So I think I might do it maybe like so. And then I like that it has an embellishment there. I can find something. I have tons of stuff for this album. And then some pattern papers peeking out behind. I like that as well, just to add more visual interest, because just this by itself does look kind of flat. So I want to add something to it that would be fun. So I'm using this as my inspiration. I should add that I want to give credit for this. When I went to look at the pin, this came up for me like the overall image, but when I tried to click on it to go into the real image and read the blog post it came from, it said the blog had been taken down. So I can't give credit there. So I'm sorry. If this is yours and you're watching it, thank you for the inspiration. So I just wanted to get that out of the way, and now I can get started. Since this is so easy, I'm going to do the left side first and just get it done with. And here I have one of the adhesive strips I was talking about. So all I have to do is really peel that off, attach it, to the back where I want it. Actually, it'll go like this when the adhesive's off. So I just have to figure out how is the best way to line it up to match the rings in the album, and then cut off what's left. But it probably will be pretty much like that so that it is centered, because I'm using a 4-ring album. I don't need all 6. So if I center it like this, it should be good to go. All right, so that's done already. I attached this, I cut off the parts I didn't need at top and bottom. Everything opens as it should, and then you can see a little bit of the adhesive line here, but that's not a big deal to me. It's not like it's really obstructing anything. You can see everything, and he said he was fine with that, so not a problem. And then actually I could put this in the album right now, so I think I will. So in my stash of stuff that I had for this album, I have a bunch of papers that were either 6x6, 6x8, or that were cut down from doing something else, but that were colors that I thought might match what was happening in the album. So I've grabbed those to see if I can make any of these work to layer them like they did here. And originally I was thinking I would just go the width of the photo, but then when I was looking at this more closely, I realized this person went edge to edge. So I think I will do that as well. So I cut down some of the pieces that I had. I decided to go with these 3, and I cut them this size so that then I can tear the edges similar to what it shows in here. There are some torn edges. And then I also just pulled this scrap of white cardstock I had, because I do want to mat the 5x7 photo, probably 1/8 of an inch. This one I probably will not. I'll just let it overlap without a mat. And then I may do a strip down here. I like that this white is peeking out. I don't know that I would stamp on it or do anything, but maybe. But I like the idea of just having a little bit of white in there to offset all of these darker colors. I have matted the photo in white, and I love that. It does give a very nice break in between the green and then the photo, so that's awesome. And I did also want to point out, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but this has a very shiny surface, and that is because I put the metallic finish on this from Nations Lab. So if you're seeing that, that's why it looks that way. So I have this here, and then when I overlap this, I definitely like the white border because otherwise I think it would have just blended in way too much. So I'm liking that so far. Now I'm going to tear the edges of these and start layering. I have my layered pieces set out, and I think it's going to be something like what is shown here. I don't have anything glued down yet in case I change my mind. I actually decided to shift the photo down a little bit because when I was looking at this, I noticed there's also a strip up here. And at first I didn't think I was going to do that. But when I cut down this, it left me with this strip left. And I thought, well, it could go perfectly up here. And then it gives me the option of I could overlap it with something, some little embellishment. I could figure out a title there. I don't know if I need one because it's kind of right here, but I'm sure I could find some type of embellishment there. And I think I'm going to go with that. And then I liked this. So a circular element would be good if I can find it, but I'm not married to it. I'm just really want to find something that goes with the theme and the color that will sit right here, similar to how it does in this picture. I have everything adhered down here except this because I don't want to totally position it until I know what embellishments I'm using. But all of my layers are done. This is what I ended up with here, and I'm happy with that. And now I have pulled in a bunch of embellishment stuff. I had these 2 sheets of stickers, and I'm not sure anything will work on this one. I just like the colors and stuff, so I grabbed it. And I have this one, which at first I thought I wouldn't be able to use it, but there is blue in here. A lighter blue. So I think I might be able to get away with that. So I have those as well. And then I have this whole bag filled with wood veneer and chipboard and puffy stickers. So I'm just going to go through all of these things and see if any of this stuff will work. So for up at the top, I have decided I'm going to put this just a little bit down. Maybe about right there, because then I do want to overlap something I found here. I want to do this one that says travel success. Ah, yeah, because obviously this is about sampling moonshine. So they were enjoying the end of their day there, and the blue matches nicely with what I've got going here. So I want to use that one. And then there is a place for a little hole. I do have some brads, and I think I have some old white ones left that are fairly small, so it might be thin enough to fit through there, and it'll bring in a little more white to the upper part of the page. So because I don't want the brad to poke through the other side of this page, I've put it through the hole and I bent it back right on the adhesive backing of the chipboard, and then I can solve that problem. And when I was laying this out, I didn't like the way it looked after all to have this so close to the top, so I did move that down. It's almost centered in that space. And then because there's just dead space at the ceiling here, I'm actually going to overlap it like so. There we go. So now that is on there, which is great. And I'm already thinking I might do a little bit of white splattering up here. I'm not sure yet, but I might, just like in the little corner, to bring some more of that in. But I have the option if I want it. Now I have to find out what's going to go down here. I think I'm going to pick something and then overlap this one that says Excursion, because it definitely was an excursion out and about. And again, I like the color, but I have to find something to go underneath because I don't think I'm going to like it just to have that over. It's too linear. There are already too many straight lines there. So I need a circle. I do have these little acetates I could use, or I need maybe a circular embellishment of some type. So I'm going to look through that next. I think I have found something that will work here. I was looking at all of the stuff I had, and then I pulled out these puffy stickers, and I like this sticker right here. It's just a camera, but that works. It's mostly just, you know, 2 photos here, and that color is pretty perfect with the different color schemes I've got going on. In this paper, it's kind of that orangey brown look to it, and It will be over brown, but I think with that white underneath it, that will help. And I will strategically place it and then have this maybe just tucked slightly behind it so that that blue will work in there as well. All right, so I added these. There's the phrase, there's the puffy sticker I chose, and I felt like I needed a third thing in this cluster somewhere. And when I pulled out these acetate circles I had, this was actually in there. It's just a cut off piece I used somewhere else. I think it was for a previous layout actually. And it's a dark brown, but I have some dark brown in here. I think I'm actually going to just tuck it under here like that, just as a little visual element. It doesn't really do anything other than add visual interest. But I like it, and I like that it mimics the curve that you see in the shot glass here, that you see in the barrel, that you see in the rocks. I just really like the look of it, and so I think I'm going to do that. Once I have that down, I'll be back and see if I'm really done. All right, so I have that adhered, and I like it, but I have decided I do want to do a little bit of white ink splattering. So I'm going to do a little bit up there, maybe a little bit along the bottom. So I have my box set up, I have that in there, and this is the white ink that I am going to use. Okay, I did my splattering, so I'll do a close-up of that so you can see where that shows up on the layout, just kind of the upper right, and then lower half the side of the layout down there. Love that. And then I wanted to put these side by side to show how I incorporated that into this, and I think it worked out pretty well. So I have the strip and the embellishment up here. I chose not to stamp, but I'm okay with that. I've got my large picture, my small picture, a round element here, and then my torn paper. And I have to be honest, I never would have come up with this on my own had I not looked at this. So I'm super grateful that I found that one on my boards and I was able to make it work. So here's another one finished for the Smoky Mountains. Thanks for watching.